Taking a look at the energy markets today, I want to focus on WTI. WTI up on the day, up almost 1% for the day. We saw a big, strong move in Brent as well. Brent up about 1.5%. WTI currently right around the 64.53 level. We saw a high of 64.69, a low of 64.06 on the low end. EIA number came out today, so we got that report, the inventory report, and we saw a much larger build than what was expected. We saw about a 7 million barrel build with the expectation of a slight draw. That rolled off the back of last week's build as well, but nonetheless, we didn't really see too much reaction in the WTI space. We saw it dip down to the low of the day, 604 or 64.06, excuse me, but then popping up quickly after that announcement. And really, I think another factor here was when you look at the gasoline inventories. Now, that was a much larger draw than anticipated, so I think that counteracted some of the draw in the crude space, and I think that's why you're seeing, once again, this trend continue to the upside for WTI. Also, other factors today that were cited, geopolitical concerns. We're seeing issues coming out of Libya. We're seeing some fighting escalating there, continue to escalate, and that's reducing their output right now, and so that's inhibiting their ability to get oil exported and reducing the supply to some degree, and no one's really sure how much longer that's going to last. We also have Venezuela continuing to struggle with their situation, and we're continuing to see slower exportation of oil coming out of Venezuela into the global market. So again, another production reduction we're seeing there, as well as Asia now. Now, Asia is contending with something very interesting as we are now coming into the period where the Iranian waivers, if they don't get extended, that a lot of these importers are going to have to look elsewhere for their crude supplies. And I think that's another dynamic here where you're seeing now Asia accounting for the possibility of those waivers not being extended for Iran. Looking at the trends in the market, again, a strong uptrend in both WTI and Brent. We're seeing WTI pushing up above its 200-day moving average, really broke above that last week. We continue to see this uptrend and very strong in its nature. And also now looking at the trends between WTI and Brent, we did see that spread narrow the last week and a half as we continue to see greater demand, I think, for U.S. oil, given the fact that you had some of these dynamics that I just mentioned. And we did see that narrow down to about $6.50. Now it's back out to about $7 today, as we're seeing today a reversal in that trend short term where Brent is outpacing WTI. But for the most part, we are continuing to see that trend compress from basically $10.50 down to $6.50 just in the last 3 weeks.